It's one of Toronto's most chilling mysteries, the disappearance of 8-year-old Nicole Morin, who seemingly vanished into thin air from the Etobicoke high-rise almost 4 decades ago. Well, CityNews has learned that new information triggered a recent ground search, putting this cold case back in the spotlight.
I mean, everybody that's touched that over since 1985 has been really affected by this case.
It was July 30th of 1985 when 8-year-old Nicole Morin left her unit on the top floor of the Etobicoke apartment building on the West Mall. She was heading to the lobby to meet a friend for a swim at the complex pool.
She never made it downstairs, so somewhere between her apartment and the lobby, she disappeared.
Carrying a white plastic shopping bag.
From the get-go, there was a lack of physical evidence, no signs of foul play, and no reason for an 8-year-old girl to just wander away. Detective Sergeant Stephen Smith tells me there was also a delay in the reporting to police.
Her mom had thought that she was downstairs swimming, and her friend downstairs was wondering when she was coming down, so there was a bit of a couple-hour lag before she called up to Nicole's mom to say, where is she? Is she coming down so we can go swimming? And then at that point, Nicole's mom realized that she wasn't around, and by the time there was a police response, it was almost a 7-hour lag.
There were extensive searches over the years and countless tips coming in, but investigators kept hitting dead ends. Age enhancement pictures were also released over the decades showing what Nicole could look like as a grown woman. Eventually, the case went cold. Detective Smith is part of the revamped Homicide and Missing Persons Unit that was created just a few years ago and tells me they now have the resources to once again put the heat back on this file. Is there something that triggered this latest investigation?
You know, we're bringing the investigation up to 2022 standards.
I'm told a full-time investigator is now working the case as other officers have been digitizing every tip and all the evidence that police have gathered over the years. And about 2 weeks ago, fresh eyes unearthed a possible lead.
We were able to relook at a number of tips, and we were able to find some tips that kind of pointed to each other, and it centered on one area, so we went up and investigated that area.
Late last month, police spent a week excavating a wooded area just north of the city, but so far they've come up empty-handed. Detective Smith says it's a large location to cover, and it remains an area of interest. Nicole's mother passed away several years ago, never knowing what happened to her daughter. Her father, Art, is still alive, and while he's no longer doing media interviews, he spoke to City News back in 2015.
I just remain hopeful that whatever happened, that Nicole is okay and one day we will reconnect. Probably, if she's alive, she's got that hope too.
Missing persons are terrible because you really don't know what happened. And I mean, we don't know what happened. It could be a number of different scenarios, but that's what we want to find out. Regardless of what the scenario is and what the result is, we want to find out what happened that day.
Now, another disturbing detail about Nicole's disappearance is that contractors were at this high-rise installing security cameras the day she went missing. Had those cameras been working a day earlier, police may have had the answers they are still searching for. Now, anyone with information regarding this case is being asked to call police or Crime Stoppers.